it's Nikki with Nikki for my second video ever. And I'm starting one of my series. I had an idea to start called Conversations with Nikki. I'm going to be reading off my screen because my short-term memory is not the greatest. Since I went into the hospital a few years ago, it was during COVID. It wasn't COVID, I didn't have COVID. Thank you. Full disclosure, I wrote my thoughts down, my notes down, and I will be reading it sometimes because my short-term memory is not the greatest. Since I'll probably share that story with you guys when I feel a little more safe, a little more willing to share that, a little more safe with my little corner of my little world that I'm making here. So welcome to Conversation with Nikki. Just a quiet place where we sit down, talk about life, growing things, and thoughts that come up along the way. That's it, just conversation. And today I wanted to talk about flowers. Wait, don't go. I think it'll be interesting. If there's people that are like me, you might enjoy this. I'm trying to find my people. So if it's not for you, then just keep scrolling. And what they represent for me. So why flowers? I've always loved flowers, not just because they're pretty, but because they remind me that care matters. Flowers don't bloom because someone demands it, because you water them, give them light, let them take their time, whatever. I think the idea has stayed with me my whole life. For me, flowers have always been tied to home, whether it's seeing them on the table, outside in the garden, in my mother's hair, like I have today. They've always made wherever space I was in feel loved. Does anybody else feel that way about flowers? You have any experience with flowers, whether in your home, etc.? Even now as an adult, when I'm building a life that doesn't look the traditional way people expect, flowers still feel like grounding thing. Like a reminder that beauty doesn't need position to exist. And any type of beauty, not just the standard, doesn't need position to exist. I have to get used to doing this, you guys. Bear with me. You don't need a perfect house. You don't need certain titles. You don't need to look impressive. You just don't need that for flowers. You don't need a perfect house. You don't need a certain title. You don't have to look impressive. You just have to care. Just care for them. Flowers. And they will give back to you as much as you give back to them. On this channel, I will be talking a lot about untraditional, traditional living. I'll be making a video more on what that actually means to me. That will probably be the fourth video. But back to flowers. This is just a part of what I mean. To me, traditional isn't about fitting into a box. It's about tending to what's in front of you, caring for the people you love, the space you live in, the things you grow, whether it's a garden, whether it's a home, and even yourself. Flowers don't ask who's in charge. They don't ask what the setup looks like. They just respond to care. And I think there's something really freeing about that. One thing flowers have taught me over the time is patience. You know, some bloom quickly, some take seasons, some don't bloom at all. They just don't bloom at all until conditions are exactly right for them. Flowers take up their space. Something I've also learned to do is to take up my space when I've been kind of by people around me in the world to kind of shrink to fit in. You know, but that'll be another video. I'm learning to see my own life the same way. There are seasons when things feel slow, quiet, unfinished. And instead of seeing it as a failure on my part, I'm just learning to see it as preparation. Just like soil being worked before planting. That's why I really want to start Conversations with Nikki. Not to teach, not to debate, not to be loud, just to sit with ideas, talk about things we don't always make time to think about, to remind ourselves that gentle life, care for life is still a meaningful one. And flowers, I think, are a great reminder of that. If someone who loves flowers or growing things or creating a sense of home wherever you are, I hope this conversation felt like maybe a moment of rest, even though it was a quick conversation. And yeah, thank you for sitting with me a bit for the first ever conversations with Nikki. Until next time, take care. And before you go, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and like after you subscribe, and like the video or dislike the video. The choice is yours. But yeah, it was great talking to you guys. This was kind of fun. If you like flowers or what flowers mean to you, I would love to know. Comment down below. Have a beautiful night.